Hi, this is a video to help you complete your case study lesson plan assignment. And now that you know a little bit more about your case study, it's time to develop a lesson plan in which you're going to actually teach it to your case study. So the first step is to choose something that you want to teach. And this can be academic or non-academic. So some past examples have been baking cookies, playing chess, speaking Spanglish, solving algebra problems, swimming, playing guitar, etc. And because you know your case study's background and development very well, it's important to choose something that is developmentally appropriate and interesting to your case study. So plan to teach your case study after you have submitted this lesson plan and got feedback from me. And that will happen at the beginning of Module 4, and then you're going to have until the end of Module 4 to actually teach this lesson plan to your case study. And because sometimes it takes several lessons to teach your case study, I don't want to overwhelm you by having you fill out every single lesson. So just choose the main lesson for this assignment that you want to show to me. And then you're going to create that lesson plan with 4 sections, just like a normal one. So you're going to have standards and objectives, assessments, instruction, and accommodations. You're going to have 4 weeks to complete this assignment if you're in regular semester, and summer you'll have 10 days. Submit it to La Lima Assignments. And one thing, you could consider an alternative approach, but more than likely you'd want to keep this as a written assignment because that's how all teachers do it in the Department of Education right now. So what are we looking for in this assignment? We want to see that you have standards and objectives, but most importantly that you have at least one measurable learning objective appropriate to the standard, and I would highly suggest that you keep it to 1. Because every time you create a new learning objective, you've got to create an assessment to measure that, and that can get a little overwhelming. So I would highly encourage you to do 1. Then you design some assessments that measure that 1 learning objective, and you're going to actually provide the actual assessment and the scoring tools. So it's going to be just like you would do as a real teacher. You're going to actually grade your case study. Then instruction, you're going to design a variety of instructional strategies that'll support that lesson objective. You're going to write out those in a clear, detailed steps for other teachers to follow. And you're going to have 3 sections. You're going to have a warm-up section, a main activity, and a closure. And then finally, you're going to describe some basic accommodations for students with special needs, ELL, and culture and diversity. And even though your case study is 1, what would your lesson plan change, or what is included in your lesson plan that would be effective for all learners? So this one is just more for letting us know that you can accommodate lessons. If you want to know what an A assignment looks like, click here with no comments or my comments. And we're doing this assignment because this is our bread and butter. And we're doing it as what's called a standards-based lesson plan, which means that we teach according to what we want the person to demonstrate rather than what the behavior specific. Meaning that if we like the student or dislike the student, that has nothing to do with how well they can do in our lesson. So this keeps us focused, and this keeps us also creating lessons that focus on clear objectives that they can improve upon. So to see how this is done, we go down to extended assessment instructions, and it has a lesson plan template in Word that you click on, and then you can just fill it out. But below is what it would look like directly. So you just fill out the red right here, and in each section, so under objectives, are a list of resources for you to be able to develop the standards and objectives for your lesson plan. And one thing I'd highly encourage you to do is review these websites so that you have a very clear idea of how to develop a lesson plan. And so you would do that for assessments. You would do something called the matching rule so that you would be successful there. And because if your assessment doesn't match your objective, then it's not valid and the whole lesson is wrong, which means I kick it back to you until it's right. And so I make you do these charts to make sure that doesn't happen. Then you would do the same thing for instruction. You would review the resources here and review what's something called CREED, and that's important because it forces you to put in instruction certain teaching strategies which will allow you to accommodate for all learners, and it will help you do well in the next assignment too. And then finally you have accommodations, and you can find out information with that. And once you finish those 4 sections, turn it in, make sure you get it approved by me, and then you will be ready to teach that lesson. All right, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions.